Keely Hodgkinson becomes the champion, the youngest ever at these championships.
Back-to-back titles for Keely Hodgkinson.
Hodgkinson, though, coming through looking majestic.
She's won silver at Olympic Games, World Championships and Commonwealth Games. Representing Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Keely Hodgkinson.
Go to the lead, she's so tall, running in a group can be uncomfortable for her. But Keely Hodgkinson has had a lot of success indoors, just going to the front and holding it. She's managed that on the circuit and at a national championship level. Could Keely Hodgkinson just make this race a little bit simpler for herself by going to the lead? And no, it's Gemma Reekie of Great Britain and Northern Ireland that's got out the hardest. Louise Shanahan fighting to give herself a good position. Keely Hodgkinson at the moment just caught up in the middle of the group. They come through the first 200 well under 30 seconds, so it is pretty quick. Are things going to get shaken up down the back straight? Christina Herring perhaps being forced into a kick, forced to protect that inside position. Keely Hodgkinson has gone super wide. She's got enough air, that gap there to go to the inside. Keely Hodgkinson on the inside, and her teammate Gemma Reekie tracked her superbly well through that 50 metres. They're coming round with 150 metres to go. It's Keely Hodgkinson from Gemma Reekie. Renelle Lamotte of France trying to get herself back on the podium. Here comes the strong pole, Vilgosh. Could she get herself among the medals? Keely Hodgkinson is striding away. Look, Renelle Lamotte is powering through into a silver medal. It could be 3 silvers for the French athlete. Keely Hodgkinson takes the win. Renelle Lamotte second. Anna Vilgosh, a brilliant closing 100 metres. Laura Hoffman of Switzerland got a sneaky move on the inside, and Gemma Reekie, it was almost a replay at the Olympic Games. She was in a medal position until the closing 80 metres and just faded, but she really put herself in it to try and run with Keely Hodgkinson. But Keely picking up a gold medal to go with her 2 silvers from the major championships. Hats off, that was a really well-controlled, tactically judged race from young Keely Hodgkinson. Keely Hodgkinson set herself up for this move as she moved into 300 metres to go. She just lifted her pace ever so slightly down the back straight. It wasn't a massive kick. I was super impressed with Gemma Reekie's commitment and dedication to getting onto the shoulder of Keely Hodgkinson. Gave her herself every shot at a medal, and ultimately it just went for gold and then suffered in the home straight. And for a hug with her mum and dad, and the other people there were friends of Jenny Meadows and Trevor Painter. Massive fans. Her mum and dad will be very relieved, delighted and proud.
And the fastest woman in the field, Keely Hodgkinson, took out her semi-final very quickly. O'Sullivan looks good, so does de Koenig. Hodgkinson once again has gone out very quick indeed. Koenig up on her shoulder. Hodgkinson heads for the inside. She likes to lead from the front. She likes to really throw down the gauntlet. 200 metres to go, and Hodgkinson now starting to pull away, really starting to motor the diminutive Briton. O'Sullivan in second place, de Koenig in third. Hodgkinson really working hard now. I think she can taste that gold medal. O'Sullivan doing very well behind her, holding off de Koenig, who was so impressive. Rakasan comes from a long, long way back over the course of the last 200 metres. But it's going to be Keely Hodgkinson. 2:04.86, another gold medal for Britain, just outside her personal best. And a championship record for Keely Hodgkinson. O'Sullivan gets the silver, and de Koenig of Sweden the bronze. Well, Keely Hodgkinson deciding on her tactics and bravely managed to, as so often many athletes say, execute and deliver.
Keely Hodgkinson, well, at 19 years of age, she only turned down on Wednesday. Could the young Brit do it? So Josvik, Hodgkinson, Hoffman, Chichotska, Boffey and Baker, to remind you of that lineup. Talent throughout. Keely Hodgkinson, 2 years in a row she smashed her personal best in Vienna, European Junior Indoor record. a world junior indoor record until beaten by Athing Mu of the United States last month. Coached by Trevor Painter, the Lee Harrier. Well, she's proven that it's not just times that she's produced, it's good performances at this level. The experience of being in an Olympic final, but Keely Hodgkinson holding them off so far. But for how long? Josvik looks as though she's ready to strike in behind. Ellie Baker in 4th place at the moment. Where's Isabel Bothy and Laura Hoffman just out of shot? Are they able to go with this pace set by Keely Hodgkinson, doing exactly what she did in the heat in the semi-final? Such confidence she's taken, but she is just 19 years of age, still holding off Josvik, who tries to chase, tries to come through, but Keely Hodgkinson becomes the champion, the youngest ever at these championships in the women's 800 metres. Keely Hodgkinson only just turned 19, and she is the European indoor champion at senior level. Incredible stuff. Well, seems just yesterday she won the European youth title. But she was 18 a few days ago, and her birthday on Wednesday. 1 year older, still a teenager. You thought at one point that Josvik and Chihotska would come through. Maybe they would combine down this home straight. Incredible stuff from Keely Hodgkinson, Phil.
Keely Hodgkinson, the defending European indoor champion, improved the British record to 2:57.18 recently. Just to give you the lineup from the inside: Rahalahali, then sharing lane 2, Quado and Kohlberg. Sharing lane 3, Hoffman and Imbalzabal. Lane 4, Wedo of Switzerland, Horvat of Slovenia in the lime green top, and Hodgkinson of Great Britain, Northern Ireland. She immediately takes the lead at the break. So it's Hodgkinson at the front, followed by Rahalahali, Horvat on the outside in lane 2. 28.33 for the first lap. And Hodgkinson is really working hard at the front, letting everybody know that she's in command of this race. But she's running at 1:58 pace, and that's something no one else in this field can muster. Nobody else has gone under 2 minutes this year out of this field, apart from Hodgkinson, who seems to be able to tick off sub-2 minute times at will. So Hodgkinson leading by 2 meters at the bell from Anita Horvat, and then Audrey Werrow coming round into 3rd place, but it's Hodgkinson striding away with 100 meters to go, and barring accidents, the Briton is well on the way to defending her European indoor title. Behind her there's a battle for the silver and bronze between Horvat and Werrow. Hodgkinson though coming through looking majestic. Hodgkinson takes back-to-back European 800 metre titles. Anita Horvat silver, and I'm not going to call it for the bronze. That was a real blanket finish.
It's a brilliant run from Keely Hodgkinson, defending her title here. That win in Turin 2 years ago. The announcing of Keely Hodgkinson on the international stage went on to a silver in Tokyo, silver in Oregon last year. And here she is winning gold again at the European Indoor Championships.
Well, Keely Hodgkinson has every right to be smug at the moment after a terrific run like that.
Inside the defending champion, inside the two-time world silver medalist Keely Hodgkinson of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the world leader with 1:55.78, going for back-to-back wins. The final of the women's 800 metres. Keely Hodgkinson moving nicely into potentially a leading position as they go down the back straight for the first time. So they're strung out in this women's 800 metre final, coming up to the halfway point. Hodgkinson leading the way. Wilgosz of Poland on the shoulder of the British athlete, 58.51 at the 400 metre point. But they're queuing up behind Hodgkinson, France and Poland on the shoulder of the British athlete. There's still about 6 athletes in this with 200 metres to go, but Keely Hodgkinson is trying to stretch away from the field, trying to stretch away from Bourgoin of France on the inside line. The flowing blonde hair of Keely Hodgkinson. She looks up at the scoreboard right in front of her here on the screen, and now she eases away. Hodgkinson pushing for another British gold, pushing to defend her title, but she's going to have to run through the line here, and she does. Woo, 1:58.66. She looks up to the sky. Gashanova on the inside line, Tim. Wow. So there's an overhead slow-mo at the finish of that women's 800 metres, and the defence of her title for the world leader, Keely Hodgkinson. Back-to-back titles for Keely Hodgkinson.
Keely making hard work of that, and I think it's only fair that we tell you now that we have heard a rumour that Keely has been ill, less than 100% in 1:58.6. She's the world #1 this year.
Hi, I'm Nadia Batugritti. Sign up now to the European Athletics YouTube channel.